Duke and the Doctor, the #1 health talk show. Duke and the Doctor here live from Las Vegas at the Natural Products Association. We're glad you're watching us today. Thank you for being with us. And we're here with a dear friend of mine, Tom Sokoloff from IP6 International. Tom, welcome to the show. How's Las Vegas treating you?
Oh, Las Vegas is great. Love coming out here. There's so much to do and see, and the time just flies by while you're here.
Yeah, it really does. And the trade show is going well. It looks like a lot of people out there. We're having a great time talking to a lot of interesting folks. But what I want to hear about, Tom, is your product. I want you to talk about that in just a minute.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about your company, IP6 International.
Well, I started out as a retailer, as you know, Duke, and during that time I became very frustrated with some of the products that were available to us in the health food stores, especially because of quality issues. And so it encouraged me to go out and start looking and manufacturing my own product, looking for high quality, pure, raw ingredients that we could use that would make a difference in people's lives.
Well, I know my wife, the doc over here, has endorsed your product from the beginning. She loves your IP6 Gold, don't you, honey?
Well, the reason I like, and I'm going to let you explain what IP6 is because of the research behind it,
yes.
and how it helps the immune system and whatnot. But talk about what is IP6 and why I do on Duke and the Doctor recommend IP6 Gold, and I do that in my practice as well.
And why is your product different and, in my opinion, better than the rest?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, IP6 stands for inositol hexaphosphate. This is a nutrient that is found in rice bran, but we cannot eat enough rice bran to possibly get enough IP6 into us. The other problem is that the IP6 is contained within the fiber of the bran, so by the time you get through digesting it and separating the fiber from the nutrient, very little ends up in the bloodstream. So by purifying the IP6, we get better assimilation, and along those lines, we tell people to take it on an empty stomach to ensure that assimilation. Now, to take it a step further and make a good thing better, we know there's a lot of synergy in nature between nutrients. IP6, inositol hexaphosphate, when combined with inositol, a common B vitamin, additional inositol in the proper ratio, it actually helps that work even better and gets into our cells much more effectively. Every cell in your body contains IP6 and inositol. It is considered the internal transmitter or the internal communicator within your cell. So when the DNA is carrying out its role, if it cannot tell the cell exactly what to do, communication breaks down and then bad things can happen.
Well, we know your product is the best, but sweetheart, why don't you tell our viewers why you recommend IP6?
Well, Duke, I predominantly really want to first talk about the immune system, and you know, if we don't have a healthy immune system, quite frankly, we get sick, and the worst that happens, or certainly a negative consequence of a faulty immune system, is cancer. I mean, you get DNA damage and you get cancer cells growing, which cancer cells are normal cells. They're perfectly healthy normal cells, but then they have this DNA damage that the immune system fails to fix, and then that damaged cell continues to multiply. So what I feel in my practice as a doctor, you know, for all of us, keeping that immune system healthy, and that's what IP6 Gold, I'm very specific to recommend yours because that's got the research behind it for its ability to really help the immune system.
Right, and there are patents on it for its ability to boost the natural killer cells, which is your body's first line of defense. It's that first barrier that we want to keep healthy so that these cells cannot get started, but it also can be somewhat effective against viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens that enter the body, and there are patents that show that that is the fact.
And you work with another doctor, Dr. Shamsuddin, is that correct?
Yes.
In the formulation and ingredients put in IP6?
Absolutely, and that's a crucial part about this because when people go out and look on the internet or other sources for IP6 products, there is variations of the purity level of that IP6. Ours is the very purest one on the market, and as a result, it may cost a little more than some of the others because we have this high standard of purity. And when we're talking about immune system and immune system health and some of the challenges that can come from a faulty immune system, we don't want to mess around with inferior material. We want to make sure that this is getting in and doing the job, and the research shows that it does do it.
And you know, Tom, if you take, it doesn't matter if it's IP6 Gold or anything in the natural products arena, if you take something of inferior quality that costs less, you still wasted your money.
Exactly.
You get what you pay for.
You want to get something that delivers the goods, and that it is patented. You mentioned Dr. Sam Suden
Yes.
did that, so
There is one more product I'd like you to discuss with us and tell our listeners a little bit more about, our viewers more about. It's the red yeast rice product that you have. Tell us what makes that so special.
Well, red yeast rice has been in use in culinary purposes in China for over 5,000 years now. And there is some evidence that shows that having red yeast rice in our diet may indeed be very good for cholesterol health. There's a lot of good science about red yeast rice out there and its effect on cholesterol, and I'll let Dr. McBaron talk a little bit about that.
well, no, thank you for that. Science is important to me. As a medical doctor, I'm a scientist, so I need to see studies. I need to see that things work. And red yeast rice does work extremely well for helping lower your total cholesterol, and it works in a natural fashion. But my concern has always been that red yeast rice, that I can trust it as a doctor, that it's not contaminated and it is a pure product. And so the reason I recommend your brand of red yeast rice is because I know it's grown in the United States.
That's correct.
And I feel very confident that it's what it's supposed to be, and it's not a contaminated batch of anything, and that makes me feel good and confident. You don't want to take something that could hurt you.
Exactly. And one of the important points to make clear here is that more and more raw materials are coming from countries outside the United States. And the companies are not always very good about testing those ingredients. There has been some problems with red yeast rice. If you go out and Google red yeast rice, you will see some warnings out there from the FDA about it. So when I decided to delve into this situation, I was able to find a supplier here in the United States that grows it organically. So it is certified by the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, under their organic standards program. It is the only product out there that is certified organic, and we're working on even making it better beyond that point. But at this point right now, it is a pure natural product that we can guarantee that does not have any contaminants in it that can come through that fermentation process.
Well, Tom, it's been great talking with you and learning more about your fine products that you bring to market. We hope you enjoy the rest of the show and enjoy the rest of your stay in Las Vegas.
Well, thank you, Duke. And before we close, I do want to say to Dr. McBaron that I am excited to hear that you won the 2010 Clinician of the Year Award. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tom.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Tom. We've been friends a lot of years, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Great to see you, Tom.
Thank
Thanks
you
for being
again,
here with
Duke.
us. Okay.
Thank you.